Steelers Nation, this was not a good evening. This was not a good night. This was not a good game. This was not a good showcase.
Tomlin, highest paid defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Highest paid defense in the league, and we get outscored, what was it, 28-9 in the second half? We were up 17-6 at the end of the first half, and we allowed 28 points in the second half and only scored 9. That's how we opened the second half.
They do suck.
They do suck. Roberto Pacheco, thanks for subbing. We do greatly appreciate you. Shout out to Rocky Blyer, as always, correct when he says the Pittsburgh Steelers do indeed suck. They suck absolute ass. They suck.
The Steelers, not too long ago, were 4-1.
Yes. They were 4-1. They were at the top of the AFC North, and I think they still are. But at this point, how much longer is that going to last? How much longer is that going to last, bro? The Ravens got a cupcake schedule as long as they keep winning. And we got the Colts coming up with Jonathan Taylor running amok among the league. You got the Chargers on Sunday night in a couple weeks. Then we got the Bengals again. And the schedule only gets worse because then we got the Bills. We got the Ravens a few times. We got the Lions and a couple other powerhouses, which I'm not expecting victories in any regard. I don't know how many more wins we get this year. Keep in mind, we got a 10-game stretch, 10 straight games after this, 10 straight games left.
Again,
no bye week, no mini bye.
It doesn't get any easier. It doesn't slow down one bit. There's no breaks in between.
Down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
I am not down with this football team. I am not. I am so fed up. Listen, I'm numb to it. I'm not surprised by this. Neither is my brother over here.
No.
We are not surprised by this, but God, for how much more can we endure? How much more can we witness?
We've got 2 words for
We got 2 super chats that say it all. Barbara FM with 199 says season collapsed early this season. Keep in mind, it's only week 8. And we got 00 Fuzzleton with a 2 that says, man, this looking like last year already. Already, bro.
And you
It's
know what's
week
the
8.
same? You know what's the same from last year?
The same coaching staff. The same exact coaching staff. Oh, but we traded for Ramsey. We got old-ass Darius Slay, who's the oldest starting corner in the NFL, by the way.
And
we got
can't make a
old-ass.
play.
We got Aaron Rodgers. We got all these guys. We traded for DK. What does it matter? What does it matter when you got the same guy in charge, the same people in charge of the football team? What does it matter?
If you're not down
It doesn't matter.
we've got 2 words
How
for
many
you.
times have we seen that with different personnel, with different coaches, with different players at certain spots that ultimately leads to the same garbage, the same mistakes, the same thing, same song and dance, rinse and repeat, bro. It's been going on for years now. For years.
If you're
What's
not
the next
down with
excuse?
that, we've got 2 words for
Who's the
you.
next scapegoat? Amber with a 499 says, I'm so numb. This was the game to bounce back, and the defense looked the exact same. Even the offense regressed.
How
Yes.
is it that just last week, the Arizona Cardinals, who are on a bye this week, but are on a 5-game losing streak, brought the Packers to a more extreme level, brought them to a more competitive game with Jacoby Brissett starting at quarterback with a 4th-string running back now on the season, yet the Steelers could barely do half.
The Yes and Daddy with a 2 says 2 missed field goals, first with points, but B before and after half equals L by 10 points.
Yes. I mean, the Packers in the first half, outside the Tucker Kraft touchdown on their second drive, they couldn't sustain anything. They were very conservative and limited on offense. They had drops from their targets, a deep drop by Dobbs, which led to the first missed field goal by McManus from 57, just shy. Tucker Kraft dropped an easy first down, which led to their second punt after that. And then McManus missed another field goal of 44. They were shooting themselves in the foot, but you know what Green Bay did? They adjusted.
Yep.
They got better. They acknowledged, like, listen, like, we got to do better. We cannot perform like this in the second half. And Green Bay did exactly what they did in the second half, bro.
You know, I find it really hilarious. They wore those 1933 throwbacks, only a little modern touch to them. They wore their 1933 throwbacks, and they performed just as bad, if not worse, than that 1933 Pirates team. where they went 3-6-2, and in that year, they also lost to the Packers. In fact, they got blown and shut out. We didn't get shut out, but this sure as hell felt like it. The defense sucks. The coordinating sucks. The coaching sucks. How many fucking times are we going to see guys wide open in the flat? How many times are we going to see people wide open in the middle of the field? How many times are we going to see people wide open on the sideline? How many times are we going to be playing 10, 15 yards off our fucking receiver? How many times are these guys going to miss tackles?
And big chunks allowed by the defense through the air. 24-yard gain by Romeo Doubs. 13-yard gain by Malik Heath. 16-yard touchdown to Tucker Kraft. The 59-yard catch and run by Tucker Kraft. The touchdown to Tucker Kraft. His second one, which is 24 yards. Savion Williams just open on a screen.
Why? Yeah. Dude, that was the most dumb play call I've ever seen from a defensive coordinator, bro. Outside of leaving everyone wide open in the flat, they ran a nickel blitz when Savion Williams was the motion man, and you knew he was getting the screen because he has 3 fucking blockers in the second level. But let's blitz the nickel guy, and let's give him an easy touchdown, untouched. And then the next touchdown I think they scored was Tucker Kraft on a slant route. Middle of the field, wide open, untouched, touchdown. How it's so predictable, bro. Us fans can call it before it even happens. This defense is awful. The scheme sucks. The players cannot execute. They can't tackle.
Dan, this is the 4th game this season that they have allowed 30 or more points.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many yards that they have given Green Bay this game Sunday night?
Like 500.
454 total yards. 360 of those came from Jordan Love alone through the air. 3 touchdowns. Defense got no sacks.
Defense got no sacks.
No turnovers.
No turnovers. And the best they could do was a few 3-and-outs forced and limiting them to 3. That's the best this highest paid defense can do. This defense has been absolute trash the last 2 weeks, but the 2 weeks to start the season was also bad. I don't know what possessed them in that 3-game stretch with the Patriots, the Vikings, and the Browns, but forget all that because all that was just blinded to what was now the reality, which is same shit, different week, same shit, different game, same shit, different year.
And they came into this game, and they've always been adamant about stopping the run. We got to stop the run.
Oh, we got to stop the run. 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 Jamar Chase got 23 targets last week and a tutty. T. Higgins got 100 yards almost and a tutty last week. But we got to stop the run.
We've got 2 words for
You got Tucker Kraft wide open on the flat 17 times this game, but we got to stop the run.
Tucker Kraft had 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on National Tight Ends Day. But we got to stop the run. Josh Jacobs was of no impact, and he didn't need to be.
We've got 2 words for you.
Josh Jacobs did not need to be of any impact. He didn't have to be. Packers got 35 points, and Jacobs hardly ran the ball. He got a rushing touchdown, but he hardly ran a goddamn ball. He was of little to no impact because Love decimated this secondary and this defense because they fucking underestimated Jordan Love and the targets. They were focused on stopping the run and forgot all about the passing attack. Gee, that sounds funny. I remember just last week where he did the same fucking thing with Joe Flacco and the Bengals, who just gave the Jets their first fucking win.
And then you got Christian Watson being activated from the PUP list, 4 catches, 85 yards. Josh Jacobs got outran by his backup, Emmanuel Wilson, tonight. But we got to stop the run. Yeah, let's stop the run in a passing league. Yeah. I think that goes to show where their focus is at. They have no idea what they're doing.
No, they don't.
And I like how all offseason they were trying to revamp the secondary, revamp the corner position for games like last week versus the Bengals, for games like this week versus the Packers, high-octane offenses with incredible targets, with quarterbacks that can sling it. And this is what they allow. This is what they allow. I'm not surprised. I'm not at all.
It's just so frustrating to see the same movie rinse and repeat over and over and over again. How much more can we endure? How many more times is this going to be done and showcased for anybody to acknowledge like change is absolutely necessary in the city of Pittsburgh for the Steelers.
And nothing's going to change until they get everybody out of there. You know, there was one particular and major reason why we didn't get hyped this season. Oh, we got A-Rod, we got Ramsey, we got Slay, we got all this. There's one main reason why we didn't get hyped this year and why we didn't buy into the whole all-in nonsense. Because of the coaching. We don't predict the future. We've watched the past.
Hence why this sign was up and it's back here again. And why this sign was up during the winning streak by the Steelers. Even when the Steelers were looking good and they were trending in the right direction, they were on the right path to success, right? We still had the sign up because in the back of our mind, it was just like, hey, don't forget. Don't forget. This happened before. This happened before where we look good. We're in the right lane, but then like we have bad performances. The Tomlin specials come back up. The coaching fails.
We got a couple super chats. We'll get to them shortly, but I do want to call this one out by Handle Triple L with a 5. He says D sucks, but Jalen Warren 13 carries, averages 4.8 yards. They abandoned him, and Smith still calls play action. 4.8 carries, all is bad. Thank you guys as always. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Jalen Warren had 10 carries for 50 yards at halftime, right? 10 carries for 50 yards. Pretty good, right? Right? I think that should give you an idea to give him the ball, especially since you have the ball to open the second half when you're up by 9 points, right? You got full control of the game. You're up by 9 points. You're up by 2 scores. You have the ball to open the second half. I feel like it's a good idea to run with your ride or die, the literal heart of the offense, which is Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren, 10 carries for 50 yards in the first half. He finished the game with 13 carries for 62 yards. In fact, there is at one point the offense had only 38 yards in the second half with 13 minutes left to go.
You know who our leading receiver is in this game?
Roman Wilson.
4 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. He had that great, deep 45-yard catch completion on the opening drive. It was a great play by A-Rod, great throw, good catch by Roman Wilson. It was awesome. Good for Roman Wilson. Didn't see much action the rest of the game up until garbage time. The rest of the stats here was just garbage time. The touchdown, garbage time. The time Roman Wilson actually gets playing time, garbage time. Doesn't matter.
Dude, everything sucks. The coaching sucks. The talent sucks. And I'm talking specifically the defense. You know, there are some things on offense that need to be worked on. There are some penalties that hurt drives that just need to be cleaned up, that are just mental errors.
The penalty situations were just inexcusable. Absolutely no reason for those to happen. And it only made the Steelers shoot themselves in the foot again.
But the offense fell asleep in the second half, and there was no sense of urgency when the defense couldn't stop jack shit. There absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
But the defense, dude, it is so predictable. It's constant mistakes every single game, every single week, every single year with the same guys in charge. It's the same scheme. It's the same guy running his bullshit that he's ran since 2002. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. It doesn't work no more. They run the blitzes. They don't come away with anything. Nothing works. They play 10 yards off their receivers. Guess what? They're not going to give guys like TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith, Derek Carman, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward. They're not going to give any of those guys the time or the day or the idea or the breath, the oxygen to do anything. So what do?
We've got 2 words for you.
You got Ramsey, you got Porter, you got Slade 10 yards off of your receiver. They're going to get off in 2 seconds. They're going to throw the ball 2 seconds. And we can't tackle nobody to save our lives.
No.
So the yak ability is the best in the world when anyone faces this defense.
And that's what happened with Tucker Kraft.
It is so evident every fucking week.
That's what happened with Tucker Kraft on the 24-yard touchdown. You actually called it. You literally counted down 1, 2, Love releases Kraft.
Up the middle, touchdown.
That's it.
Untouched.
Makes defenders miss. Nobody can stop Tucker Kraft, and it's another touchdown for Green Bay. They sealed the deal right there and then.
It is so obvious, dude. It is the most predictable defense in the world. I swear to God.
And what else are we going to hear from the coaches and the players? Yeah, we got some stuff to clean up. We got work to do. Yeah, we played like shit.
Oh, we're going to...
Yeah, we had miscommunication.
I'm frustrated. I hate that this happens. You know, we're better than this. Clearly you're not. I think you guys just suck. I think you guys are just trash. The scheme sucks and the talent isn't doing anything. When the talent can't make the plays in open space, mixed with the scheme issues and the soft zone or guys getting beaten coverage, nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work, and any adjustments they make, if any, just isn't good enough. You guys are getting flat out belt to the ass. I swear to God, nothing works. Nothing's going to work. The adjustments you make, the plays you try to do, the effort you try to make are worthless. You guys just suck. And there's no reason for me to expect any change.
No.
Because anytime this happens, there is no shock. How many times do you got to see the same guy do the same thing to you before you finally feel like this is enough? How many times is the clown over there going to sit in the skybox, watch this team perform and think, wait a minute, this looks familiar? Does he even have that thought in his mind? Is he old enough to just forget what happened the week prior? And he thinks he doesn't even realize he's just watching it all over again?
No, apparently not. He just lets it all slide.
Everything sucks.
It's awful.
Nothing is going to change until we clean house, which is what we wanted to do at the beginning of the offseason, because we were 10-3 last year. Lost every game. And the only changes we made were personnel-wise. No coaching changes whatsoever.
And player changes, that's it. We revamped the team from a player aspect. Different players up and down the roster.
What does it matter?
What does it lead to? The same exact result as it did last year.
What does it matter? The only thing is we're getting a jump in the collapse a month or two in advance.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro.
This is why I can never trust this team. This is why I can never buy the hype, because I've seen this too many times. You guys got to understand, I have not missed a Steelers game since 2014. I have seen it all. I have seen everything since 2014. Every snap, every sack by Watt, every catch from everybody. I've seen it all. I think I know what to expect from this team. I think I know what's going to happen when it's going to happen, because it's happened too much. It's happened too often. There's no shock here. It is nothing but frustration. And at some point, when are they going to tell themselves, the guys in office, enough is enough? The fans, Steelers Nation, have already said it. Enough is enough. It is time for a change.
The Steelers suck.
Yes, they do. Change is absolutely necessary. How many times do we have to say this?
And there's only so much frustration that can be built up until we just shout at the top of our lungs, like we're doing here tonight, or like we're doing right now. Player of the game was Chris Boswell. 4 field goals, 4 for 4, 3 of them from 50 yards or more. Chris Boswell was player of the game. He was the only highlight of this game. Everybody else, forget about it. The defense, absolutely not. Offense, I don't blame this on A-Rod. It's not A-Rod's fault. I feel bad for A-Rod. This is his first game versus the Packers since being traded away. And this is how this team performs for him versus his former team. In our own stadium. In a stadium where the Packers fans, they were chanting, "Go Pack, go," in our own stadium.
Yes.
With 5 minutes left to go in the game.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You know, we always say Steelers Nation. There's never an away game, right? It's always a home game or whatever. They travel everywhere. When you have the cheeseheads literally chanting "Go Pack, go" in your own fucking stadium in prime time under the lights action with the world watching, that's embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. How much longer until the Steelers Nation themselves create a Fire Tomlin movement or a Fire Austin movement?
Keep in mind, we have the Colts at home again.
By the way,
we play a second straight home game versus the Colts, and we've all seen how the Colts are looking. They are, from a conference standpoint and a record standpoint, the best team in the conference. I don't feel confident going into that game one bit, even at home. I don't.
Bro, listen to this.
Let me hear it.
Pittsburgh allowed 30-plus points in 4 of its first 7 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't happened since 2003, which was our last losing season. The only other times it happened were 1988, 1968, 1966, and 1962.
The Steelers just...
Shout out to Alex Kozora for that tweet or post, for that stat.
Yes, and the Steelers just continue to etch themselves in the history books and not the good history books. How many more times do we need to witness this? How many more times do we need to see this?
Mike Tomlin. This is what he had to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've simply just got to be better. We just simply got to get a lot better. No shit.
Shut the fuck up.
No shit.
I
wonder who that starts with. I wonder who that starts with. We got to be better. We got to get better. We simply got to be better. Who does that start with, Coach?
You see, normally, with the stat that you just read, Dan, with the stat that you just read about what the defense has given up in 4 of its first 7 games, normally a defensive coordinator would be out of a job. Normally a movement would happen from the coaching staff, but nothing will happen.
No.
But even if it does, say Austin is fired. Say Austin is relieved of his duties. Is anything going to change? No. Don't get me wrong. He's got to go. He's a freaking idiot. He can't do his job. But the man that leads this defense, that runs this scheme primarily, it's a head coach himself.
Yes.
The common denominator. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Nothing will happen. Nothing will change. But by God above, it needs to happen.
Let's put it in perspective. By the way, yes, they do suck. Thank you, Rocky. Let's put it in this way, right? The Steelers were 4-1. Okay, they were 4-1 after beating the Browns. They're now 4-3. They had a chance to take a commanding lead in the AFC North Conference. They did. All they had to do was beat the Bengals, and they would have had a 3.5 game lead. Yeah. The Ravens won today. We lost. So our lead decreases a little bit. I would not be shocked in any possible way if somehow the Steelers completely collapse what would have been their easiest chance to win the AFC North in years to the Ravens. Look at the Ravens schedule. Look at the Steelers schedule. Do you think that we're going to uphold this lead? No. Just like at halftime, we were up 17-6. And I level-headed with y'all. I said, listen, Steelers got control. They're up 17-6. You know? They get the ball to open the second half, but I'm a level head with y'all. That's every single reason to be terrified as a Steelers fan. They get too comfortable.
They stepped away from what was working. They never adjusted when the Packers knew what the Steelers were doing. They didn't do anything to lead to successful football.
It is symbolic, bro. Everything that revolves around this team ultimately collapses in one way or another. The last 2 weeks, the Steelers defense has given up a combined total of 66 points. 66 points and only 2 sacks. No turnovers. 4 games already, they've allowed 30-plus points. So, yes, they need to fire Austin. Will it make a level of a difference? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because he's not the one calling the defense. Mike Tomlin has his scheme and his way, and it's like, hey, listen, we're going to do it this way and this way only.
In back-to-back games, the Steelers defense has given up 470 yards versus the Bengals and 454 yards versus the Packers.
How does this not warrant any change? How?
Do the math.
But listen. Let's say by some god of a chance they do make change and they actually fire someone mid-season. Again, they did it with Canada. Does lightning strike the same place twice? Probably not. But let's say they do it with Austin. Who fills in? I don't know. I don't care. I don't think it makes a fucking difference. The real change starts up top. But that's never going to happen. He's locked underway until 2027 through the 2027 season. So we got 10 more games of this garbage, and if we make the playoffs, you guys already know the result. We got all of 2026 and all of 2027. We are fucked. We are stuck.
Throw in the towel, guys.
We're stuck. We're stuck. And ain't no reason to believe that this team's going to be different. I don't care who they add. I don't care who they draft. I don't care who they trade for. It don't make a lick of shit.
You can drink your wine and squash your grapes and keep the what does he say? Keep the ingredients to the hot dog or whatever.
What?
I don't want it. I don't want it, Tomlin. I don't want this. I'm done. This is too constant, bro. And I don't understand how the higher ups, the men in the suits, the people that actually make the decisions, can't see this.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Sons, thank you for the super chat. Everybody in here, thanks for the super chat. We'll get to y'all after the post game. Is there anything more we want to cover? Is there any more we want to cover?
What else is there to say, bro?
I feel like we've been repeating ourselves for 7 years now regarding this.
What else is there to say?
It's just the more it happens, the more it's like, bro, when are we going to see some change? The Steelers did everything they did this offseason. Everything they did this offseason to make a quote-unquote push. This ain't no push. This ain't no push.
This is a team that's all in.
Apparently. This was never.
This is a team that's all in. 30 or more points in 4 of your first 7 games.
This is abysmal football. This is abysmal fucking football. We're still going through this, bro. How many games, how many weeks, how many years, and there ain't no reason to expect anything. Bro, they went into this game with the same game plan as they did versus the Bengals and thought that was going to fix the job. No, sir, it ain't going to fix the job.
No.
The patch is still there. It's a big ass patch too. I don't care how big of a patch you try to cover the hole. It ain't gonna make no difference. Jesus, man. This team sucks.
It's awful.
They literally made no adjustments. None. They came out with the same formula. The same formula. And they thought that was gonna make a lick of a difference. I don't believe it, man.
And A-Rod, you just see the expression off his face all game. He was just so pissed off. He was just out of it. On the sideline, he literally looked down on the turf and he just said, wow.
Yeah, wow.
He just shook his head and said, wow.
It's just another night of getting absolutely brutalized.
Exposed.
Absolutely exposed.
Being the laughing stock of the NFL, and there's teams with worse records. But they at least go out there and perform to the best of their ability. They at least go out there and try to be competitive. This was not competitive football. I've never seen a team play so effortlessly, defensively.
Let's be honest, bro. When Tucker Kraft was beating him in the flats or he was beating Deshaun Elliott on a deep pass, the Steelers sent an all-out blitz. Bro, they blitzed like 6 guys, Queen and Wilson up the middle. Jordan Love, bro, just hucked it up. Hail Mary, right? A prayer. Living on a prayer. Tucker Kraft, sure, OPI. Deshaun Elliott didn't play the football. This team was clumsy as hell trying to tackle that dude. And what did they do? They left him wide open on a flat and on a 4th and 1 that same drive. And what happened? They scored. This team's clumsy. Everything about it is clumsy. By the way, Deshaun Elliott got hurt. He got hurt on that Tucker Kraft big play. He couldn't put no weight on his right knee. Reminded me of the Cameron Johnson injury from last week when week 1, where he hyperextended his shit real bad. Took him out all year.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for
It doesn't look
Elliott.
good.
It does not look good.
No. Just salt on the wound at that point. This was embarrassing, bro. This was really bad.
That's all I got to say, man. Change needs to be made.
Mike Thomas says that the Steelers' issues are repetitive, and so they not only have to look at execution, but schematics. No shit. This guy's fucking idiot.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. He don't take his word seriously.
First of all, how many games did he go through this to finally realize that? How many games did he coach to finally think, yo, my scheme kind of sucks? Like, really? Is there anything else we have to say?
I got nothing else. I got it all out, bro.
We got the Colts next week, bro.
Yeah, we do.
We got the Colts.
Yeah, we do.
We got the Colts. We got Jonathan Taylor.
We got Daniel Jones.
We got Daniel Flippin' Jones, bro. Daniel Flippin' Jones. And then we got the Chargers on Sunday night. We got another primetime game. We got to do this again in 2 weeks on primetime. And then after that, we got the Bengals. Then after that, we got the Bears in Soldier Field, where the Steelers haven't won there in a long time. Then we got the Bills. Then our first meeting versus the Ravens, bro. And that could have every AFC North implication, because I'm telling you right now, I don't feel good about the Colts game. I don't feel good about the Chargers. We might beat the Bengals. We might beat the Bears, but the way our defense is playing, bro, Caleb Williams might have career highs. Then we got the Bills, bro. That's a loss. I'll be real with y'all right now, man. We might win 1 or 2 of our next 5. We might win 1 or 2 of our next 5. We're at 4-3. Best case scenario, we could be looking at what? 5-6 before we go to to the Ravens. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And by that time, the Ravens might be back up in the division. This is already having the looks of another Tomlin Steelers collapse. We saw it in 2018. They were 7-2-1, and then finished what?
9-6-1. 2020, we know what happened. 11-0, finished 12-4, got blown out by the freaking Browns of all teams.
Last year, 10-3. Then we went what? 10-7. 10-7. We didn't even win a single game after that.
10-7, 5 straight losses, ending with the Ravens blowout loss. Yeah.
This is already looking pretty bad, folks. This really is.
Here we go again.
Will this be Tomlin's first losing season? Knowing him, he'll pull something out of his ass. He'll pull a rabbit out of the hat and then get above 500. And then everyone will preach, oh, well, he doesn't have any losing seasons. Another non-losing season from Mike Tomlin. Who cares? Who cares, bro? How many playoff wins does he have with it? 3 since
Super Bowl 45.
Super Bowl 45.
3.
He has 3 since Super Bowl 45.
15 years, only 3 playoff wins. That's it.
And I feel like for the longest time now, it's just been the same episode.
That's the video, guys. That's it.
The Steelers are working out Marquez Valdez Scantling tomorrow. Yeah, that's gonna fix the issue. That's our fix. That's really gonna put some butts in seats, isn't it? That's really gonna save our season.
That's a waste of time. I'm just out of it, dude. I'm sorry.
No.
Generally, I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
gonna-
just out of it.
This is bad. This is pathetic.
Guys, let us know your guys' thoughts, opinions, comments down in the comments below. This team sucks. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace.